Kanpur is also premier on that aspect. That means depending on your own interest, you have to look into the websites of different institutions. Practically and particularly, I prefer that you should opt for the premier institutions so that your investment in getting the material will be worth. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now, any other?
Good afternoon to everybody. I am Mr. B.K. Basu. My question is to Mr. Biswas, I believe. Do you have any roadmap you can put on light on the 97.5% unorganized skill sector you have mentioned in your? So is there any roadmap, or is there any compulsion that the skill development could be related to the engineering institutes? Otherwise, it would be a real drainage of money of the government. Please.
Can you repeat your question once more?
You have mentioned in your report that there are 97.5%.
92.5, okay.
Something. So, is there any roadmap you have come to know that there is something going on to reduce that unorganized sector scarcity in getting employment or getting skilled?
Okay. Thank you. But you see, this is a major problem for the government of India, and even the Planning Commission people, they are also working on this. Especially the large number of workers in the unemployed sector. It's a common experience in Indian context that this sector, it lacks a lot of technological support and intervention. If you think about any of the areas, so in this case, basically the development of suitable technology by the Indian institute, you cannot import this technology from outside, which can be used for the intervention of the unorganized sector, mainly. So you have to develop it. And the government of India also taking some initiative, but it is not adequate from my point of view. And now you need to, classify different sectors. They have identified at least 25 to 26 sectors, especially in the unorganized area, where this value addition is needed. So if really we cannot add some value in the skill building process in these sectors, the productivity as well as the quality of life of the people who are dependent on these sectors will not improve. And of course, the answer is not that the foreign technology, and especially you can see the important debate when we are talking about FDI entry. So the FDI entry is going to ultimately affect, the unorganized sector largely. And FDI is not only the capital, but also the associated technology. And that's a kind of issue must be analyzed very carefully when we are thinking about the upgradation of the unorganized sectors. And in India, till date, there is no clear-cut roadmap, but the Planning Commission, earlier Planning Commission in the 12th plan period, they had taken certain initiative in the skeleton manner.
No. My question is can we not raise our voice to make it a compulsion? This is high time. By 20, we would be requiring 50 crores of people to be skilled.
Of course.
How could we, as an educator, how could we raise the invoice to the government?
Yeah.
Let us start with.
So if we want to raise our voice, we need to have certain platforms, and especially the people representatives.
That's what my urging request is.
The people representatives and also we, the common stakeholders, we must be unified in this issue, in which really we can raise our voice even to the extent of the parliament or to the assembly or to any other policy-making bodies, where if really the survival of India, if it is our motto, in that case, definitely the intervention of proper technology in the unorganized sector is inevitable.
Okay, thank you, Professor Biswas. I will close this discussion because already lunch is there, and we are also feeling, all of you must be feeling very hungry.
The first technical session on role of skill development in sustainable employment. And there was 4 speakers, mainly Professor Shivaji Chakraborty, Professor Partho Pratim Biswas, Professor Kamul Bhattacharya, and Dr. Sanjoy Dorrai. And we have got their opinions along with some discussion from the floor. And then we conclude that obviously skill have an important role to play in sustainability. Skill development can make a meaningful contribution to moving people into work and helping them to stay there. Skill development for employability, often referred to as technical and vocational educational and training, BTE, has been identified by India as a priority area for educational policy and practice. This is not surprising since there is overwhelming evidence to demonstrate that TVET can play an essential role in promoting sustainable economic growth and socio-economic development of India with benefits for individuals, their families, local commitments, and society in general. Environmental, economic, and social dedicators tell us that our current model progress is unsustainable. We need to put our world on a more sustainable development path, yet reaching and teaching sustainability is still paramount challenge. Without education, there can be no sustainable development, as we have seen from civil department type talks and also electronics related talks from Dorrai and Professor Bhattacharya. Education empowers people with knowledge, skills, and confidence they need to shape a more stable and peaceful future. Sustainable development cannot be reached through technological solutions or financial instruments alone. Achieving sustainable development requires a change in the way people think and act. This change can be attained by systematically integrating education for sustainable development into all levels and setting of education and training from early childhood to higher education and workplace learning. Appropriate policies and practices for skill development currently occupy a dominant place in development discourse. India recalibrates its growth model to consolidate its in the global economy. Availability of a highly skilled and technically qualified human resource base will be a crucial determinant of success. With this, we are enclosing this discussion part of this technical session 1. Thank you.
We owe our reverence to all the dignitaries on the stage for such an enriching experience for us throughout session 1. I'm sure this would gladly and definitely help a lot the young aspirants and technocrats in understanding the conceptual differences between skill development and sustainable employment. May I now request Sir Dr. Falguni Bhattacharya to extend our felicitation to all the respected speakers on dais of technical session 1. Our co-chairperson, Sir Dr. Shubhi Kumar Sharkar, with a memento. And may I request Falguni Sir to extend the felicitation. Thank you, sir. Sir Dr. Shivaji Chakraborty. Thank you. Our next speaker, Professor Dr. Partho Pratim Biswas. Professor Kamal Bhattacharya. Professor Dr. Sanjay Dhar Roy. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Well, respected audience, learner delegates from academia and corporate, dear students, let us break for a sumptuous lunch. We will assemble here once again after an hour. So we break for a lunch for an hour. Thank you.